name is Darlington. I am a creative writer, an editor, and a teacher. We're here to deliberate on the relationship between Nigeria and South Africa.
My name is Nwandi Kenna Bright, a Nigerian, and I'm going to represent Nigeria in the ongoing debate or discussion about the conflict between South Africans and Nigerians.
My name is Sarah Olariwaju Solomon, and I'm representing South Africa on this discussion about Nigerian Africa. So I'm excited to meet my Nigerian counterpart.
I'm a success rate, and I'm here representing Nigeria as a Nigerian. So we are gathered here to discuss about South Africans and Nigeria.
My name is Hadu Kehinde by name. As we all know, there's need for Africans to come together, and this is what the African Union has been talking about and is still talking about, that there's need for Africans, irrespective of color, age, creed, or religion. There's need for us to come together as one.
In recent times, we have had strained relationship between South Africans and Nigerians. The need to unify strongly this relationship matters a lot. Good day and welcome to this panel discussion put up by the AU ECOSOC in partnership with Inspire Marketing International, tagging Umzansi, Nigeria. On my left, I have the South Africans, and on my right, I have the Nigerians. We'll have them introduce themselves.
Good day. My name is Darlington.
Good day, my name is Sarah Olariwaju Solomon. I am a success please.
I'm Nwandi Kenna Bright.
All right, you're all welcome to this panel discussion. So the South Africans, what do you think has been the issue or growth between these two countries?
I think it is a matter of identity and history. We are Africans, and we have the same identity irrespective of our differences, which are not much, because every culture, every people, every community has something that's peculiar to them. But what is remarkable is that the peculiarity of Africa is what unites Africans. I feel that there has always been one misconception. To begin to talk about South Africa from the days of the apartheid has always been a misinterpretation of the South African reality. There was South Africa before apartheid, and there was Nigeria before apartheid. And we have lived peacefully as African people. So the question is, for me personally, what happened along the way? And how did it get this bad? I think it is a matter of a corrupted identity. Nigeria and South Africa has a similar colonial history. We were colonized by Great Britain, and Nigeria fortunately gained their independence before us and did a lot of great works to facilitate our own freedom. We reciprocated that freedom by giving visa to many Nigerians and to many Africans to come into South Africa to prosper. But things are no longer the same, because the average Nigeria prospering in South Africa looks down on the average South African, and this is injustice.
Injustice. Do you think it is injustice?
Well, speaking from historical perspective, I don't know where he got his data from. But by the end of the apartheid regime in 1994, but then, if we want to talk about apartheid regime and the freedom from apartheid regime, we have to talk about the institution called apartheid. It dehumanizes, it rubbed off the image, it rubbed off the image of South Africans. In the sense that South Africans no longer recognize themselves as who they are. And out of anger, they now attack other African brothers as though we are the cause of their plight. But we'll forgive them for that. Look at, according to Survey Community in 2011, immediately after South Africa got free from apartheid regime, which saw the first black president in South Africa, South Africans, the apartheid regime divided the blacks from the whites.
Sure.
The blacks do not have the kind of education that Nigerians have. So there is need to build South Africa. When the whites are leaving South Africa has a nuclear plant. They dismantled it. Most of the fertile lands and the estates in South Africa have been occupied by the whites. Now the blacks have nothing to prove in building South Africa. They need professionals. They need scholars. They need artisans. They need even politicians from Nigeria to be exported to South Africa, because the South African image has been exported to the graveyard, never to return again. It is Nigerians, and we continuously have been doing this, not only in South Africa, in other African countries. Nigerians went to South Africa to help them build what has been ruined by the apartheid regime. I think going forward, that South Africans should reciprocate what Nigerians did for them. May I also remind you, when Nelson Mandela was exiled, he was housed in Nigeria. When the vice president to Nelson Mandela and later became the president, what was that his name? Tabo. When he was he was trained in Nigeria. Are you aware that he was in the University of Nigeria, Ibadan? Nigeria gave over 300 visas to South Africans to travel because they could not get visa from the South African apartheid regime. Some of us who read Swiss Banzi is Dead during our young days will understand what I'm talking about. So the issue of South Africans vetting their anger on Nigerians is an issue I do not understand, but I do understand a little.
So with the facts laid down, what do you have to say, my South Africans?
In response to what my friend just said, it is easy to put our history before the people. But I think that in putting our history, we should also be interested in the truth, because the truth matters, and we should also be open to the truth. I said earlier that Nigeria has done quite a lot for us South Africans. Growing up, I lived with many Nigerians, and I recall that many of them were very kind to me. Sometimes, coming back from school, I could even branch off at one of my friends' place, have a meal, and then enjoy several local Nigerian dishes. They were quite good. And these are the things that actually united us. Then, reacting directly to some of the things he has said, Nelson Mandela, when he became the president of South Africa in 1994, took up the responsibility of returning to the rest of the African world what the African world gave to South Africa. The African world fought for us, and he was ready to give himself. During the Abacha regime, Nigeria was a place of tyranny. I recall that a lot of people were declared the enemy of the state, including, after all, a former head of state, Olusegun Obasanjo. I recall that Nelson Mandela sent the legendary Archbishop, including the then Vice President of South Africa, to Nigeria to negotiate peace with Abacha. Even though it didn't end well, because Abacha continued to deceive Mandela and the rest of the world to believe that he was going to free these people. But the execution of the 11 Ogoni men, including the legendary Ken Saro-Wiwa, confirmed it for South Africa and the rest of the world that the tyranny ongoing in Nigeria then was not going to end. Let me make this very clear. Nelson Mandela did not relent. He stood up. He made sure that he staged a protest against the injustice that were going on in Nigeria. So Nelson Mandela was Nigerian at that point. He went to the Commonwealth and made sure that Nigeria was banned 2 years from the Commonwealth Association. I think this is enough. I think this is a way to begin. And I believe that if Nigerians could look back at this history, if they could accept the truth, if they could begin to reassess most of these things, that they would realize, just as I am realizing, that some of the things Nigerians are doing in South Africa that are not good should not be done. Because
are you aware of something? That Nigeria is the largest trade partner with South Africa in the whole of Africa. Are you aware that South African businesses are thriving in Nigeria? Are you aware that Nigerians are not attacking? That Nigerians are so homely to other African nations, most especially South Africans. The biggest companies in Nigeria today are owned by South Africans. My elder brother got married to a South African.
Really?
Yes. Not that. My family has had a history, a robust history of relationship with South Africans who have so many of our girls from my family that married in South Africa, who have so many of my brothers that married from South Africa.
Yours must truly be an African country. I mean, your family should be an African country.
Do you know why? Do you know why? Do you know why?
Why?
During the middle 90s, during the migration stuff, you know, Nigerians, wherever we are, we just see ourselves as brothers. There's no need of discriminating. So that is why, up to today, ShopRite, according to reports, repatriate billions of dollars on monthly basis from Nigeria.
You need to take me to ShopRite when next time I visit Nigeria.
Yeah, you'll be there. I'll take you there.
Talking about the South African companies thriving in Nigeria, I get that. But then again, we also have Nigerians who come to SA, who come to South Africa and do most of this evil that it's been put up in the air that South Africans do. I mean, you got your brothers who pay our policemen to set up your fellow brothers. And it's been put up in the air that we are killing you people and we are doing all manner of things. We've housed you guys. As in, Nigerians have been well accommodated in South Africa. But the problem there is that talking about social lifestyle of Nigerians is I don't want to go down that way. I don't want to use that word, but Nigerians rub it in. You guys you're the largest country in South Africa, in Africa as a whole, while South Africa is the fastest growing economy in
It's contestable.
in Africa. In Africa. But then again, now we have Nigerians who come to South Africa. You come and you do clean businesses. We don't have a problem with that. We wouldn't go as far as setting rules and regulations that will stifle your business, because if you come and you do a legit business, that would be fine. But you come and you do drugs, it's Nigerians who do that.
Okay. Thank you. Now we have established a way around the problems, the challenges facing these two countries. Now, my question is, how do we make this relationship better?
Okay.
What is the way forward to make these two countries unite and never come to attack each other or fight each other or do some other things that, hurt each other? So that is the question.
Let me answer your question. I believe that our problem is not just our fellow black brothers. It's not about Nigeria, it's not about South Africa. We love each other. I mean, we've stood up for each other several times. Nigeria staged a courageous fight against apartheid and South Africa gave Nigerians visas to come build South Africa for us. But then again, I think the original problem is who colonized us, how we were colonized. Because first of all, we were meant to pitch against ourselves so that they remain on top. And that is what is happening. We've been killing ourselves. We've been fighting ourselves. If we can go the other way around and love each other, things are going to be fine. Africa is going to be wonderful. and another point is, if the Nigerian man, the average Nigerian man, can come into South Africa and live peacefully, do not take our girls, our wives from the South African man. Live your life peacefully. You want to get married, go down to Nigeria. I'm not saying you shouldn't marry a South African girl, but you should know she is engaged and live the relationship in peace.
Sarah, at this point now, I think you're getting emotional. I think you're getting emotional. I am thinking of marrying a Nigerian woman, you know.
Wow.
So if you begin to tell Nigerians to marry Nigerians, and if you begin to advise them, I don't think that's the best advice. And you said
I didn't mean. Excuse me. I didn't mean they should go down to Nigeria to marry. Like, leave the ones that are engaged, or like the ones that are actually married. They are single SA girls, South African girls.
Okay.
You could get involved with.
I think I get you clearer now. You have lived in Nigeria and in South Africa. You should know better. You should know better.
Okay, for me, the gathering here is to promote peace and love, actually. But then, you once said we had a taste of African food and all and that. So how could you, like, I'm not trying to condemn, if you understand. So how could you, like, even after having all the taste and everything, still have it in mind to develop a phobia? You understand? So if at all we try extending a friendship, it is we are one. AU has brought us together as a community. So we are one, we are brothers, we are together. We are meant to help ourselves, we are meant to have each other's back whenever it comes to everything. So at that point in time whereby, okay, they said a friend in need is a friend indeed. We've once at least helped, and then your business here is actually growing, and like, even though it's a more of like creating employment for we Nigerians, we appreciate. Okay, but then at least you shouldn't just be swift.
I think you're getting it wrong somewhere, please. Language is important, and it is good to pay attention to language. What you call phobia, it's not what it is. I am just saying my mind. I am speaking the apprehensions of my brothers in South Africa. This is what he could have said, she could have said, if she or he were in this panel. So I am speaking their mind. And it's not phobia. Phobia is a very big word, and I have not got to that level. My aim here is to say everything I want to say it all, with the hope that this could be resolved. Because I love Africa, and like you rightly said, AU has brought us together. Agenda 2063. Prosperous Africa, Africa of territorial integrity, where Africans are free to move around from one country to the other. Inspire is here, inspiring all of us, creating businesses and partnerships across African countries, fostering relationships through sports, through business, engaging in conferences, and most importantly, through the elevation of the youth. Now, my point is that if we could learn to speak our minds, if we could encourage one another to speak their minds, I think that most of these things would be resolved.
I think, do you agree with that?
I don't quite agree with everything. I slightly agree.
Okay, slightly agree.
Yes.
So what are the...
I'm looking at this topic in Zamzi, Niger, by Inspire International. But you permit me briefly to take a historical journey. In 1963, Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, in the month of May, 32 African heads of states and government gathered. Many speeches were made, but there was one that was so profound, and that was that of Osageto Kwame Nkrumah. And that is what we are re-echoing. He said for Africa to realize our potentials, that Africa must unite. And one of the things he suggested is Africa coming together, using her resources to build Africa. Now, one of the things we are going to do in order to solve this issue, I don't see it as an issue, just a little misunderstanding. I think some persons are exaggerating it as if it's a big issue. It's not a big issue, it's just a little misunderstanding. One of the things we can do to resolve this issue is, I think, informal education. Educating Africans in African way. Trying to export and disassociate from ourselves the brain drain syndrome that was injected in us by our former colonial masters. And to understand that it's time for Africa to ask for total independence and not for flag independence.
I think you are right in that regard, because this is the point where I would have to agree with you completely. You know, colonialism is dangerous, and our problem is that we have been wronged and we've been abused. And who gave us the Africa we have today? The colonizers. To colonize a person is to deny the person their full humanity. So if people who denied us our humanity are handing over a continent to us, what kind of continent would it be? So I agree with you that we have to decolonize our mind. I am quoting the Kenyan writer Ngugi wa Thiong'o. And I believe that we could do that through culture. Yes.
Yeah, and I also believe we could do that through sports and probably languages. And another thing I feel it's important for us to hear is that when it comes to relating and communication, sometimes I've heard over time, and I've watched TV and I have Nigerian channels, and then here and I see you people, Nigerians particularly, how you communicate, and sometimes the communications go far aggressive, even amongst yourself, up to the point of killing each other. So it's nothing about, this thing is just a little misunderstanding. Maybe a brother and another brother have a little disagreement and it becomes very aggressive. I understand Nigerians are very aggressive.
Thank you so much. Thank you. And in creating,
I want to suggest something. Why don't we do an entire tour between this country? I can take you around Nigeria. You will just one of the problems we have in this Africa, the Africans don't visit themselves because of the limitation of passports and visa. Why don't I can arrange that?
I want to visit Nigeria.
Oh, I can arrange that.
Where do you think I could visit? Because I am interested in culture. I have once paid attention to cultural dynamics. I believe personally that we are united, or we could be united by culture. I have watched sports, I've been interested. Sports can also divide us. In continental lines and national lines, you support your country, I support my country. But I believe that culture can always unite us. If you are willing to host me in Nigeria, I am coming. I want to study the Nigerian culture. So I want to understand you when you say this is how it should be.
Not just telling you, come with South Africa.
All right, thank you so much. Moving forward in creating the Africa we want. Now, moving away from the corporate bodies, doing this, doing that, what do you think we can do individually to help promote the culture of Africa?
Yeah, I think as in South Africa, women, I can wear the Nigerian African print to promote their culture. But if they would learn how to communicate calmly and softly without using their hands. They're very happy. But that's my perception about it.
Okay, so
well, thank God I'm changing that perception.
Is it changing that perception?
Yes.
Thank God I'm changing.
Okay, thank you so much. So what do you think we can do individually also to foster a relationship?
Individually, I think I've already made mention of inter-country tour.
Okay.
Not just inter-country tour. You coming with South African youths. Okay, what about we? What about AU coming together to organize something with Inspire International? We are South African youth will visit Nigeria. We'll take them.
Aren't you referring to Zanzibar, Niger?
Yeah, exactly what I'm talking about. And it's coming up very soon. Why don't you visit? We'll take you places, some places like Akampai, Tokana Beach Resort. This is the only beach resort in the whole world with beach, mangrove, and an ocean. I
think you should keep me updated on that.
Thank you so much. I just hope that we have learned a lot and we have the mind to preach our culture and tradition and then foster very, very good relationship between these two countries. Right now, we can see that from what we have heard, we can see that this, pursue and beating and killings and this and that are not, it's not even supposed to happen. Dwelling on what we have heard. Now, so moving over to the South Africans, let us just get a summary of what you think can be done, or what you think that anyone hearing this or listening to this can be done to foster the relationship between these two countries.
Thank you for this opportunity. First, I would like to apologize for what has been going on. So I apologize to Nigerians. I apologize to Africans. This shouldn't happen. I believe that I have a role to play, and that is to tell the truth. I am a writer, I am a media person. I have to report the news the way it should be reported. And I have to challenge myself and the people around me to do better. I believe that entertainment can also do a great thing, because music, dancing has no boundaries. Nigerians, South Africans enjoy the same music regardless. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Talking about what we can do better, how we can move this forward. Right now, I have a different perception about Nigerians, that they are less aggressive. They are not aggressive. I was scared, that we're going to come sit down on the same table with the Nigerians. Wow. But now I think it's all good. I have a different opinion now to preach about Nigerians, that we are calm down, okay? No, brothers. And so maybe next time, I love listening to this music from Nigeria, the whiskey music. What's it called?
Which one of it?
Is it Joro or Jogodo or something
Joro,
like that?
it's Joro, yeah.
I love Nigerian music.
Okay, thank you so much. What about you?
When there is teamwork again, there's collaboration, team love, and in Africa we actually want, and we are actually striving to achieve it, the Agenda 2063. Before that, it's an individual thing, you understand? So I think we now, we are not aggressive, and thank God the mentality about that has changed. So about that, we are the open anti, we are very open. See, anytime you want to come to you are definitely welcome. We love you, and then you need so much for us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What about you?
Yeah. Well, I love the legendary South African musician, Brenda.
Yes, Brenda.
Yes.
Brenda.
But I'm going to quote the legendary Whitney Houston, the greatest love of all. Africans must read the lyrics of that song and understand that the greatest love of all is we loving ourselves. That it's only us that can build this continent. That we Nigerians are open-minded, that we are ready to receive South Africans anytime, anywhere. And there is no need for these people. And from now henceforth, I'm believing, I don't know, but I like to believe that there will be no bad news in the again.
By the way, I like the traditional dance.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We know that the Africa we want starts with you and starts with me. We have to change the perception of the world about us. We need to preach love and foster the relationship. We want to thank our partners, the AU EcoSoc and Inspire Marketing International, in collaboration with Nzamzi Nigeria. Thank you so much. Until we come your way next time. Good night.